chemical reactions. What is chemical reaction? We'll see the definition first. It's a process. Chemical reaction is a process in which one form of chemical substance is transformed into another form. So one form of chemical substance is transformed into another form. Is called as chemical reaction. In that, new substance will be formed and the new substance will have new properties. Yesterday we saw one example, paper will be converted into ash. In that, paper will have different property and ash will have different properties. So the product which is formed will have new properties. Okay. So the definition is one form of chemical substance is transformed into another form of chemical substance. So that is called as chemical reaction. To make it easy and clear, we will see some activities. The first one is, I have written, see, magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide, I have written. I explain the activity now. Magnesium will be in a form of ribbon form. Okay, it will be in ribbon form, and magnesium, you know that it is a metal. So you are taking magnesium ribbon, some 3 centimeters magnesium ribbon you are taking, and then with the sandpaper you should clean the outer surface of what? Magnesium ribbon, because magnesium will combine with oxygen and it will form one magnesium oxide layer. So we want to rub it with sandpaper. Okay. Now after rubbing, you are taking the magnesium ribbon and your mother will be using tongs in the kitchen. Using that tongs, you are holding that magnesium ribbon and you are taking a spirit lamp and you are burning it. Okay. What will happen? Dazzling light will be formed and a product will be formed. It will be in powder form. So you are collecting that powder in a china dish. The product which is formed is called as magnesium oxide. Okay. So magnesium, when it is burnt in oxygen, the product you are getting is magnesium oxide. So a new product is formed. This is first activity. Second activity, what we are going to do is, I am taking 2 test tubes. Test tube A and test tube B. In test tube A, I am taking 10 ml of water. In test tube B also, I am taking 10 ml of water. Okay. In test tube A, I am adding 2 grams of sodium sulfate. See, this is a new compound. Concentrate here, sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. So you are taking 2 grams of sodium sulfate and you are putting inside which one? Test tube A. And in test tube B, you are adding barium chloride, BaCl2, barium chloride. So in test tube A, I have taken sodium sulfate and test tube B, I have taken barium chloride. Now I am mixing both the things. Okay, this is also a colorless liquid and this is also a colorless liquid now. When I am mixing both the things, I will get a new product. So sodium chloride and barium sulfate will be formed. Sodium chloride and barium sulfate. This is a precipitate. The barium sulfate which is formed will be a precipitate and it will be in white color, milky white color. Okay, I will be explaining about precipitate when we study about types of reactions. Okay, so this is the product here. Now we will move on to the third activity. The third activity what I have written is zinc plus hydrochloric acid gives zinc chloride plus hydrogen. I will explain it. We are taking a conical flask and I am taking a dilute acid. You have studied the difference between dilute acid as well as concentrated acid, correct? Dilute acid means it will be mixed with water and concentrated means it will be concentrated. 3 types of acids you have studied: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. We can take hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. Any acid is okay. It should be in dilute form. So, in a conical flask, I am taking dilute hydrochloric acid. In this equation, I have taken hydrochloric acid. Dilute hydrochloric acid I have taken. And then I am adding zinc granules. Granules means it will be a small sand-like substance. Zinc is a metal. It will be in that form and you are adding zinc granules in hydrochloric acid. Now, you should observe that You can't close it with your hand because you don't know what will happen. When you are using chemicals, you should be very careful. So, I am closing it with the rubber cork. Okay, rubber cork, and there are many rubber corks. One hole rubber cork, two hole rubber corks. Here we are using one hole rubber cork. Using a one hole rubber cork means it will have one hole and you can insert a glass rod or anything in that. So you are closing it with one hole rubber cork. Now you are observing what is happening. What will happen? Do you have any idea about this? Okay, some reaction should happen, no? So zinc is reacting with hydrochloric acid, and while reacting with hydrochloric acid, bubbles will be formed there. It means some gas is coming out. Okay, now when the reaction takes place, what happens? The gas will come out and you can find out which gas it is. We have some practice to find out which gas it is. In your 9th standard, you have studied if it is oxygen, how will you find out? If it is hydrogen, how will you find out? If it is carbon dioxide, how will you find out? Okay, so hydrogen means you will get a pop sound when you bring a matchstick near the gas. If it is carbon dioxide, what will happen? It will turn lime water milky. So these are the three activities we have seen. Now after seeing all these activities, what have you observed? There are some characteristic features, okay? Each and every reaction is having some characteristic feature. Now in these features, characteristic features means what? You have a doubt now. What is characteristic features? Now it is Corona time. Most of the people are having the symptoms. If you ask a small child, even a small child will tell. What are the characteristic features means? Ma'am, they will be having dry cough. They will be having running nose, temperature will increase, they will have breathing problems like that. Okay, same way in our chapter now in chemical reactions, they are also having some characteristic features. There are 4 characteristic features. Okay, after seeing the characteristic features, after seeing the activities, you have observed that there are some characteristic changes. Clear? We have seen 3 activities. In the first activity, what was the final thing? Dazzling white color will be formed and the new product, magnesium oxide, will be produced. That is the product. In the second activity, 2 test tubes we have taken and I mixed it and a new product is formed. The color will also change. The third one is hydrogen gas will come out, I said. No, heat will be produced. If you touch the conical flask, it will be very warm. Hydrogen also will be produced. So 3 activities we have seen. So characteristic change is happening. For our chemical reactions, also some characteristic features are there. We'll see one by one. There will be change in color, change in state, change in temperature and evolution of gas. So these are the 4 important characteristic features of what? Chemical reactions. So change in color. It will be a little bit confusing for you. So we will have one mnemonics. What is mnemonics? The first letter, if you remember, you will be able to understand. So I have highlighted the CST. All are change. Change in color, change in state, change in temperature. CST. Shall we keep GST in your mind? What is GST? Okay. GST is having one meaning. Same way, here we will have CST. Okay, CST, change in color, change in state, change in temperature. We'll see one by one. Change in color. If a chemical reaction takes place, what will happen? The final product will have a color change. For example, rust. Nail will be in which color? If you are putting it in moisture, if you are leaving it out, the color change will happen and it will become somewhat brownish red in color. So, color change is happening because of chemical reactions. We have also seen in that activity that barium chloride plus sodium sulfate, what happened when I mix both the things, colorless liquid will become white in color. So, during chemical reactions, what is happening? Color change is happening. So, change in color. The second one is change in state. What is change in state? You have studied different types of states, no? Solid state, liquid state, gaseous state and all. Okay, plasma also you have studied. And one more. Do you remember? Solid state, liquid state, gaseous state, plasma and absolutely. change in state. Now change in state, from one state to the other state it should change. Okay. If you are burning petrol, petrol is in which form? Liquid form. If you are burning petrol, what will happen? It will be converted into water vapor and carbon dioxide. So during chemical reactions, what is happening? The final product will have change in state. Okay. Third one is change in temperature. Temperature, it may increase or it may decrease. So change in temperature, there are two types, exothermic and endothermic. If there is a rise in temperature, it is called as exothermic, and if it is less, it is called as endothermic. So exothermic, do you remember what I said during this activity? Zinc plus hydrochloric acid, when you are doing that activity, when you touch that conical flask, it will become warm, I said. Clear? So it is exothermic. The temperature is increasing. So it is called as exothermic. When you touch the conical flask, you will feel that exothermic. And one more thing what I said is endothermic. Endothermic means fall in temperature. So here one example I have given. Barium hydroxide, BaOH twice plus ammonium chloride. Same way for this I did know. Same way you should add both the things. Ammonium chloride. If you mix both the things and if you touch that thing, product, you will feel that it is cold. Okay. So this is exothermic, rise in temperature, and endothermic, fall in temperature. The fourth one is evolution of gas. Evolution of gas means after a chemical change, what should happen? A gas should come out. So you have studied about the three gases. Oxygen will come out, then carbon dioxide will be released, or one more thing, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and keep thinking. Okay. If oxygen is coming out, what will happen? How will you find out? If oxygen is coming, how will you find out? Yes. If hydrogen is coming out, how will you find out? Okay, that pop sound will come. And the third one is oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will turn lime water milky. You have studied that. Okay, evolution of gas. The third activity what I did know, zinc plus hydrochloric acid. You will get zinc chloride plus hydrogen. So the gas which is coming out is hydrogen. So evolution of gas. It's clear I think now. So four characteristics are change in color, change in state, change in temperature, and evolution of gas. Go through it. We'll see you next day. Bye.